I have to undo what this part-time mayor, Bill de Blasio, has done to all of us. He has taken a wrecking ball to this city that we love.
Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The race to be the next mayor of the biggest city in the country has become more clear after Tuesday's New York City primary. Former Republican turned Democrat and former police officer Eric Adams, who will face the founder of the Guardian Angels, Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee. The number one issue in the city is crime, as New Yorkers deal with problems that many cities across the country are dealing with right now. Joining us for more on all of this is the former New York City Mayor, Rudy Giuliani. He's also the host of Rudy Giuliani's Common Sense podcast. Mr. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Mr. Mayor, the spike in gun violence in the Big Apple over the past year has been just absolutely shocking. A lot of cities are dealing with this nationwide right now. It's up 73% year over year in New York City alone. What does this tell you about the era that we're in right now, this defund the police era, that voters are overwhelmingly choosing people that think blue lives matter?
Well, I mean, this is an epidemic of almost, as far as I know, epidemic proportions. I mean, we've had more crime in America. We've never had it rise this fast. So I think in New York City, when I became mayor, there was more crime than this, maybe 3 times more. And I reduced it and Bloomberg reduced it. But we've never had, for example, last year we had a 50% increase in murder and a 110% increase in shootings. So this is a 73% increase on top of a 100% increase.
And bail reform, Mr. Mayor, bail reform has failed. Recidivism rates are at an all-time high. During this campaign in New York City, you made it clear that you do like Eric Adams, but it was by no means a formal endorsement. You did formally endorse Curtis Sliwa, someone who was there when the city was at its worst with the Guardian Angels. Was Tuesday's win a win for New York City either way, whoever comes out on top in the general election?
No. Big difference between Curtis Sliwa and Eric Adams is that Eric Adams, although he's the best of a group of far left Democrats who are very soft on crime, will be a continuation of the same national Democrat programs. He's certainly not going to restore bail. There's no way he's going to be able to convince Governor Cuomo to do that or lobby for that. He hasn't committed himself to restoring the anti-crime unit. He said he's going to govern the way David Dinkins did. Well, David Dinkins had more crimes committed during his 4 years as mayor than any mayor in history, including 2 years in which we had over 2,000 murders. The last riots before the ones under de Blasio occurred when we had our last Democrat mayor, which was the man he wants to govern like. And if you look at the people they had there, people supported by AOC, and I mean, some of them want to do away with the police department. So of that group, he certainly was the best.
Mr. Mayor, Bill de Blasio, current mayor, lame duck mayor in New York City. What's ultimately going to be his legacy when it's all said and done?
His legacy is going to be that he presided over the largest crime increases in the shortest period of time of any mayor. He's also been a thoroughly terrible mayor. He's failed at everything. He has no achievements. And I mean, I guess he'll be one of the few mayors where no one wanted his endorsement. Not a single one of those Democrats, even one who worked for him, Garcia, wanted him to endorse him. I mean, when I was leaving the mayoralty, Mike Bloomberg very much wanted my endorsement. I think it was a big factor in his win. I think he'll be thought of as the worst mayor in the history of the city.
Mr. Mayor, I was in college at your alma mater in Riverdale on 9/11. I remember not only how you led through that and after that, but the way you made people in the city and across America feel, and I think that has something to do with it. Your son right now is running for governor in the state of New York. We've had a long, hard time with Governor Andrew Cuomo. Certainly many New Yorkers feel that way. Do you think that come 2022, this battle of New York royalty, do you think the voters in New York are ready for a change?
I do. I think we're at the point where party doesn't matter anymore. I mean, people say, well, New York can't vote for a Democrat. I don't know. Only place where you can't vote for the other party is a communist country, as far as I know. And the reality is that in times of peril, we've gone to Republicans, LaGuardia, me, Bloomberg, he changed parties ultimately, as John Lindsay did, but he got elected as a Republican twice. Second time I ran, we won by almost 20%. So yeah, it can happen if there's enough need. If there's enough need for it, it's not something. It'll be very unusual when it happens, but it does happen.
Well, we sure hope it does. Andrew, your son, friend of the show here on Wake Up America. Mr.
Yes.
Mayor, pleasure to see you. I know you're a very busy man. We appreciate you taking the time for us today. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.